Welcome everybody to episode 25 of Talkin Crazy. This is our first show of the new year. This is our monthly build on mental health. My name is Tamal. Got the legendary brother A plus Souls of Mischief Hieroglyphics in the building as my legendary co-host. We've been doing this for a couple years now. This is episode 25, and this is our 2026 kickoff show. And so before we get into the topic and everything, though, we'll kind of want you to explain a little bit the whys of why we're here. We always like to explain that. Explain that. Why don't you share a little bit about that?
Well, this is a show where we touch on the topic of mental health and mental health awareness and its stigmas in our culture, in our community. um, because growing up in the black community, minority community, hip hop community, it's something that isn't or for many years, for many decades, really, for most of my life, it hasn't been a topic that people breached off in. It was kind of pushed under the rug. So, one of the points of our show is to bring the topic to light. Of course, in the past few years, the past, 5 to 10 years, more like five, really, but it's been more of a topic that people have been willing to discuss and be open about, and that's what our show is about. It's you know tackling some of these stigmas involved in the topic and just trying to get it on the table and have an honest discourse concerning it all. We share our experiences here, and we also try to grow from each other. We're longtime friends, so we share the things that that we share with each other, and hopefully we can all learn from what we share. And we're you know just here to learn and expand.
Absolutely. And this show is not a show where we're diagnosing people. We're not doctors or anything like that. We're on the excuse me on the path like everyone else. And if we do have particular training or experience in something, we'll make sure we share that. But we're just we're trying to learn, trying to share, and just really trying to get conversations going. I mean, a lot of times it's just really just talking about stuff that really isn't talked about in an open forum, open setting, or anything. So, and as we always say, take what you want and leave the rest. So if there's in this hour, if you get anything out of this, that's great. If you don't, that's great. But hopefully, you can take what you want and leave the rest. This is a structured conversation in terms of the topic, so whatever. So I know a lot of people sometimes want to get into music and things like that, but we have other shows that we've done to talk about that. This is specifically about mental health related topics. So, yeah. So 2026 kickoff, and um, that's all I can really think of. I mean, it's. I think it's important sometimes to do like year end shows and reviews and kind of 20 kind of looking at the new year. But I wanted to do this in a different way though, and if you saw the notes, like it's wanted to set it up that it's not resolutions type stuff where new year, new me, I'm changing, I'm like cold turkey on cigarettes or whatever. I mean, this what it's not about because I'm a black and white type of person, and that's how I operate. So this is really important for me personally. This is really about just we're going to share a few things each, maybe three things that we're trying to do, that we're going to try to do this year, and it may be things that we're already doing already, but just the effort. That's kind of where we want to look at it. It's not about like you know if being perfect or anything like that. It's progress, not perfection, as they say in 12-step meetings. So that's kind of how we're gonna kind of proceed with this. It's a just sharing some. Hey, here's what I want to try to do positive for myself, and then the people in the audience may want to share a couple things too when they have the opportunity. So that sound like a plan.
Sounds like a plan, my good brother.
All right, and well then also so we're gonna do that for a little bit and chop it up, and then we're gonna talk a little bit about a project that we got going starting next month. Um, so why don't you set up? I mean, this is pretty straightforward, man. I mean, like this is it's. But I just really wanted to hone in on like how it's not. and we can talk about that first. That it's maybe we can, man, because I'm either for me it's either all or nothing. I have like a military mindset with a lot of shit. It's either I failed or I succeeded, and what happens is when I fail or when I don't hit the mark, I'm discouraged, and then that makes me want to stop because I'm like, oh, I fucked up. That's how I get. That's not good, but um, so how do you approach things? Are you failure or success? Are you somewhere in between? Were you one way before and then grew somehow, or how what's your mindset?
I think it's more like that. More like the latter. I think I'm like super driven. But I have to add into that is that I'm really realistic with myself. I'm
Mm,
kind of pragmatic in my endeavors. I'm not, for instance, this is a wild example, but I'm not trying to go into a strongman contest. I'm not trying to lift semis on ABC on in the contest with the big yoke buff neck
you
Polish
stupid
dudes.
Magnus
You know what
for
I'm saying?
Magnus.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not. Yeah, I'm already knowing like that. Like that's not what I'm good at. That's not my
Right.
forte. In all reality, I will fail horribly. However, when I pick my endeavors, I try to be realistic with myself. Like, is this something I can plausibly accomplish? I don't mean I cut myself short like I tell myself I can't do things. I go way, I look at the real, true, what I believe to be the realm of possibilities. If it's impossible for me, like, you know, I'm not gonna try to dunk all day at the gym because I'm never gonna dunk at the gym. You know what I'm saying? I'm 5'7" barely, and I'm slapping backboard as far as I'm gonna get. So it would be foolish of me to just continue trying to jump and don't give up. Like I'm real realistic with myself. That said, when I do try something, I go ham and I will not accept not succeeding. I just won't. I just won't. If I don't get it that day, I just didn't get it that day. But I feel like I'm able to do that because I tailored those endeavors to things that I truly, truly believe that I can accomplish. And so if I didn't, it wasn't a full failure. Now that doesn't mean I don't fail. There are things to where I just completely get the rug taken from under me, and I didn't expect to lose that. Like, but that's more in the realm of like relationships and something that was out of my hands. Like I'm pretty sure I had that shot, and somebody else decided I didn't get it. Um, those are things that I'll accept. But anything that's within my control, if it's in within my power to win and it's not on nobody else and I haven't done it yet, it's just because I haven't done it yet. And that's just kind of how I am. That said, if it's out of my control and it doesn't go my way, I'm like, yeah, maybe I didn't make the right impression, maybe I didn't do enough, but I don't beat myself up too much because I really feel like I tried my hardest, you know. And I guess with all of this said, that's why when failures do happen out of nowhere, they can kind of, take my feet from under me and I have to regroup. But I'm just kind of like, yeah, I think one of my main things is I really only try things that I'm pretty much sure I can succeed at, or I know that it's possible for me to succeed at. I don't mean like a shoe in. I mean like that's possible. Like I used to run track and cross country. You have to push yourself really hard to do that. And before I could get under a 6 minute mile, I was like, I could get under a 6 minute mile. I'm talking about back in the day, like just because I wasn't doing it every day, it was still something that was fully within my grasp as a reality to me. And I just kept doing it and doing it and doing it till I did. And that's how I pretty much treat a lot of things. That's how I treated getting a record deal. Like, when I was young, I was like, I know I can do that. It may not have, like, every year after year after year was failure, failure, failure. I didn't get it. Didn't get our first real record deal. We got an offer from YZ, and it was kind of like way under the amount of money that we should have been getting for a deal. I wanted to take it. Our lawyer was like, no. And I was like, damn, I failed. But I just knew one day that we could get it. I've been trying since I was 8 years old, and it happened when I was 17. I just never gave up because to me, it was firmly within the realm of possibilities that I succeeded there. Um, yeah, but I never, after 10th grade, when everybody got tall and I stayed short, I stopped 10th grade was the last year I was on the basketball team. I was like, yeah, people are just way too good. I ain't that dude, no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I stopped doing it because I knew I probably would fail if I continued.
I mean, that
Long
takes a lot
answer.
of
Long answer, man.
honesty with ourselves as we talk about it, and just that's smart. I mean, I tell people because I mean we're gonna go on the other side, but it's okay for now. No, because you often hear like follow your dreams, you can do anything, you can do it. No, you can't.
Can't do it. You really
No,
can't.
you can't. No, you can't. And it's a wise person knows when to stop.
Nah, that cracked me up. It's so true. Like, no, you can't.
But a wise person knows when to stop pushing for something that may not happen, right? Like I can't sing unless I'm in the shower. I'm like
Same.
Ralph Tresvant in the shower. But those acoustics do something. But so it'd be foolish of me to try to sing and keep. There's certain things that just aren't realistic. Like you said, basketball's one for me too. I'm only like an inch taller than you. I love basketball, but I've been this height since like 6th, 7th grade for whatever reason, and then it just stopped. So same thing. So I just wanted to point that out. It's wise to just to know our limits. Yeah, I might not work out like you said the strongman competition or whatever. Like no matter how much you worked out, bro, you can work out never.
Not for me. Nah, it's not. It's just not in the cards.
Not for a lot of people. So that makes perfect sense. So, but these things we're gonna share tonight, though. So we're gonna do 3 things. And you can set it off. 3 things that we're trying in 2026, and it could be things that we've already tried and been trying. And then for each share, we're gonna hit kind of what I'm trying, why it matters to my mental health, and what success realistically looks like. I think we often have to temper what success looks like too. Sometimes that's also being honest. But so why don't you set it off with which one thing you're going to try to first thing you're going to try to do? And again,
the first thing I'm going to try to do is be very intentional in managing my responses to my pet peeves. I'm going to be very, very intentional and present because my default is
give me a pet peeve. Yeah, give me one of them.
A pet peeve is
one of yours. One of yours.
One of mine. One of mine is when with people who think if you're all on the same team, people who think disrupting that working well is a flex. You know what I'm saying? It usually comes from someone who's mad, insecure, maybe narcissistic, whatever. To me, it's a psychological thing. But sometimes when you're working with a bunch of people on a common goal, some people just like flex their muscle by doing shit that's non-cooperative. That's a big. I don't know why weirdos do weirdo shit. I can't get into the mind of people who do it. All I know is that people do that. People do it, and it's not. It's more common at this age. It's very common. It's a kind of person that does that kind of thing to where it's kind of like, look at it like this. It's like I hate to get all political, but this is a great example. Like poor white people thinking that voting for Trump. You know what I'm saying? It's like Trump don't give a shit about poor white people, and that's by his own actions kind of prove that he's like a super rich guy, and the super rich whites don't really trip off of poor. But anyway, their policies don't work for poor people, period. But they got poor white people that'll vote against their own interests for whatever reason, thinking that's a flex. Like, ha, you know what I mean? May not be the best example, but it's kind of an example how people do things to work against themselves and think that it's like, I showed you, you know what I'm saying? Like when I encounter that kind of shit, I have an immediate no nonsense response to that shit. I'm immediately like, that's sucker shit. And I treat it like I'm treating some sucker shit.
Yeah.
And pardon me for cursing because we cursed too early in the stream and kind of curved shit. But it's 8. We passed 8 minutes. So what I'm gonna try to do this year is not go to my default and be on some more like, what would Jesus do? What would Muhammad do? Like, and try to be, and for left, what would Buddha do? Insert prophet here. I'm trying to like be more intentional with how I react to that, and don't let it get me to the point, because I don't respect that, right? So I immediately react from those coordinates. And what I'm trying to do is be more present and intentional to not react as if it's my pet peeve, and more understand. It goes hand in hand with understanding that people who do that, that's their problem. If I don't respond accordingly, I also make it mine.
Right.
And so my way of dealing with that is to be more intentional with immediately intentional, because it does invoke an emotional response inside of me. I may not react emotionally, but it does invoke an emotional response inside of me that puts me in a mode to where, like, okay, you're dealing with some sucker ish right now. This is how we deal with sucker ish. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to like be like, hey, whatever they're going through, that's why they're like that. How can I
Yeah.
navigate it and not let them get me to a place to where I'm I'm more like dealing with a human that's probably hurt on the inside more than dealing with somebody who's a clown.
Right. 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 Right.
That's something that I'm trying to do this year.
That's admirable. I mean, in terms of like, again, this is about trying. So, like, I mean, I that's something like just trying this shit. I mean, because so I for me, along that same lines, um, I mean, it's just an add on to your particular point. This isn't mine, but I need to do better here where I live in Pittsburgh with the drivers. Same,
Oof.
my pet peeve is terrible drivers, and so here it's Sunday driving every day, bro. Like every day. It's I've people here will be driving in front of you, and a pedestrian will be on the sidewalk somewhere. They'll stop mid road and wave this person across the street, bro. Like dangerous type shit. We going like 30, and they'll like fucking basically slam the brakes on. So I I have a lot of problems here, man. Like I've talked to my therapist. Swear to God, I talked to my therapist about this shit. Like just you see me
I,
right
th-
now.
I think we've talked about your road rage before, like
Yeah,
lightly in
but it's really it's
in
here
past.
though. Like New York, I'm fine. LA, I'm fine. Drive Boston, Philly. I've been in. It's here because it's like go like yo. They putt through the lights, bro. I can talk about this all. This could be a show. They putt through the lights, and then they get through the light, and I'm sitting there, like, but they know they could have gone. Yeah, so anyway, see, so
You know what? Like, I feel that now. I don't have as visceral a response that you have, but I totally it's a minor pet peeve of mine too. Like people who are gawking at the light, and then like by you waiting 5 seconds to go at the green light means somebody didn't make it that could have made it, and oftentimes it's me. And even if it's not me, somebody back there it doesn't even know that your ass playing with your phone at the green light is the reason why they didn't they didn't
yeah,
make it through. And systems work when everybody abides by the things that make it efficient.
right. The lights
And
are on timers for a reason. You know what I'm
exactly. So now this is where ego comes in. People be like, I don't care. Like I'm gonna go when I go, and all of that. And that's again, that goes into my pet peeve. It's like people going against everything, thinking it's a flex. Like I'm gonna go when I feel like going, even though we're all out here, and it works because we all are obeying the green light, the yellow light, and the red light, and everything works smoother when everybody moves accordingly. But there's always gonna be that personality who's gonna get like they're looking at their phone, they get honked at for not paying attention, and then they get mad. Like, so I'm gonna go when I feel like going. Like people like that is exactly what I was describing earlier. It's
saying?
the same thing.
That's
It's the
not
same
happens.
thing.
That happens.
People
Yeah.
like how is that a flex? Like
Right.
you got some kind of you feeling some kind of way because you messing things up, and somebody called you out on it, and it makes you feel a way. That's extreme insecurity, bro, because you're deflecting the responsibility of out here on the streets. We're all driving together. How we all act determines everyone's safety.
Yep. Yep.
Like if I start wilding, I get myself or somebody else killed.
How
You
many
know,
times have you gotten?
or late on a small on a on a lesser scale, late missing a light. All that, it's to me it's the same thing with just different extremes.
How many times have you gotten been in traffic and got into a accident? It wasn't even a accident. It was just because somebody was dicking around, and just somebody was like blocking the blocking the way so people couldn't go around or something. You know what I'm saying? Like
Well,
so
dude,
I feel
like
you on.
looky loos, rubbernecks, bro. I'm like, people don't understand that. Like when sometimes it be traffic, you think it's an accident, and it's just everybody kind of just looking,
Oh
and it
yeah,
slowed everybody down for 15 minutes.
that's crazy. Yeah, no, that's tough. So
Crazy.
I'm with you on that on the pet fees, and I'm gonna try to work on my driving stuff. But
Good luck, my
my
brother.
major one, man. I mean, I have a couple. My biggest one is um, I need to get my spiritual life in order. Um, I, I'm doing like, and yeah, that's the bottom line. Like, I need to get my connection with my God, my higher power, my supreme is not where it needs to be. And other things in my life are good, but not as good as they could be because that's the key for me. Like that starts how like that's everything. And so I've been quote unquote busy, too busy. Got this business, got this project, and this and shows, and got 4 shows. Been busy, but as I've always said, we find the time to do the things that are important for us, and we find it. If I want to watch, I mean, I watched a lot of football this year. I mean, so watch a lot of basketball. I mean, I got like 700 channels on my, whatever it is. So my point is like that's, I mean, this in a simplified like, I have to get that together, um, because from that everything else flows. My mental, my physical, emotional well-being, all of that. It starts with my relationship with God as I know Him, and so that's that's the most critical thing for me. And and,
You
and
know,
so for real quick, so for 15 years, that was the most important thing in my life, and like was off the grid, and I was doing some really wonderful things in my spiritual life, and things change and whatever life happens, and so I'm missing. There's like a hole in my heart, bro, and that's that's the hole. Like, and there's other holes, but they're like byproducts of this one hole. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
that's the umbrella thing.
That's
That's
the
a yeah.
so that's
It's it's
that's it.
interesting that you say that because when I was describing my pet peeve when we first started this portion of the conversation, my way of being more present for these things and treating people not from my emotional reaction to how their actions made me feel, but first from a place of understanding it. My solution was to be more to lean on my spirituality. That's why I said, what would Jesus do? What would Muhammad do? What would Buddha do? Like, I just said that to be universal. But that's literally was how I planned to deal with this issue, was to lean on my spiritual base and to lean on my beliefs to provide me with that grounding and that strength to do that. So I mean, we're talking about the exact same thing. That was literally, I mean, what I spoke on was the details of it, right? That you asked for a pet peeve, or you asked for like something I'm working on, and I was like a specific pet peeve. But the way I plan to deal with it is the what you just said was your main thing you're trying to do, was just to be more in touch with my creator and my spiritual side and my faith. And not to say that I'm not, but I can always be more, because the reason I know I could be more is because I still have these feelings I can't control when
Yeah,
people
yeah, yeah, yeah,
do dumbass shit. It
yeah.
doesn't mean that it doesn't mean I'm void of spirituality. It just means there is room for improvement. We talk about this all the time.
Of course.
Self mastery. We talk about self mastery all the time. It's one of the biggest staples of my existence is the concept of self-mastery. These problems, I can't deal. Other people problems, that's them. How I deal with their problems is by dealing with myself and how I react to their BS. You know what I mean? It's never about them. It's always about me, and and self-mastery is my pathway to that. Now, the actual work is the spiritual work. And so we're again saying, we always find ourselves here over the years, so we're talking about the same thing, man. It comes down it really comes down to your spiritual footing, and how in touch we are with that. Like, whenever I'm lacking in a proper response, my default is like, I just need to get better with myself, get right with myself in my spirituality, and not let that ruffle my feathers like that, because that has proven to be a thing for me. I am a happier person the more and more I do that. The more and more I do what you described, the less and less people's trash and toxicity bothers me. I'm laugh it off. I still just got work to do, because people still do things, busted shit, that just irks the hell out of me. You know what I'm saying? And I don't, like you said, we've said this before in a bunch of times on the show as well. Like, in our lives, we're cool. With our partner, like with your wifey, with my girl, we're cool. With our family and kids, cool. With our circle of friends, cool. But you can't just be around them all the time in real life. You're around other things. And that's where those other things are the things we can't control, where I could use that help, that spiritual footing, to be better at deal. I plan on one day just being completely unbothered.
I mean, it's good to plan. I mean, at least shooting for that goal.
Well, that's the destination. That's the goal.
Shooting for that goal. I mean, like, it's definitely right though. Like, our reactions to things in the world and to other people are a true metric of where we are spiritually. Because I could, there's times like, I remember one time when I was like really practicing my spiritual, daily stuff and reading and stuff, like, my car got stolen, and
Wow.
and I called Progressive or whatever. I was like, oh, my car came out of Planet Fitness, no whip. So I was like, I called. I was talking and telling what happened or whatever. She was like, "Sir, you're awfully calm for someone that just had their car stolen and had to walk 4 miles home in December." And I was like, "It's the only way I could get home." I was like, "There's nothing else I could do. There was no buses running or anything. I was like, that's it." I said, "The car's gone." I said, "Hopefully you'll get it back." I mean, I said, "I can't do anything about it." Like, it was just really.
Was it cold?
Huh? Yeah.
Was it cold? I'm just curious. Go ahead.
Yeah. But it was, the thing is, like, here's the thing. I have a greater level when I'm on point spiritually. I have a greater level of acceptance of the things that I can't control. That serenity prayer is almost real for me. I'm it's just bouncing off me. Like, all right, what up? Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, whatever. Because I'm accepting life on life's terms. When I'm not in my zone, I'm trying to control shit. I'm trying to manipulate and maneuver and trying to. It should be like this because I want it so. Oh, look who's here! Ah, yeah.
You called her out and she showed up. What's up, alien?
But no, big up, sis. Yeah. So that's it's a real barometer of where we are spiritually. So, yeah. All right, let's get to your second joint.
A thing I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
Well, there are a few things in this world that that just kind of put me on pause and facilitate my procrastination. There's a couple things.
Okay.
Like, I usually handle my business, and I'm really like at a high click. I'm really I'm efficient. I'm take care of it now type person. Why wait? Like, don't let a small problem turn into a big problem. And I'm like that with most things in my life. But I have a couple things. Even today, I was like, why does this scare you so much? And speaking on one of those things, I have two things in my life that just give me pause. You know what I mean? And that make me procrastinate, which I'm like, all in all, not much of a procrastinator at all. But there's just certain things that just got your number
Mm,
that and we all have things that we're good at, and we all have some things that we are generally not as good at that we have to put more focus on,
of course.
and I have a couple of those things, and I have them identified, and I
Right.
don't really even understand the psychology that makes me so scared, for lack of a better word, of these things to where I can't tackle them like I tackle most things in my life.
All right.
And I'm working it out. I'm not perfect. I'm a work in progress. I am aware of these things. And I want to work it out. Even today, I was like pep talking myself on the way to work, and it had nothing to do with work. Like those are like the work stuff is like small beans. That's like just dealing with whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to be in the world, and there's all kind of people there. That's nothing. But the things I'm talking about are things that are specific to me and things that I need to handle in my life. And these things I want to understand. I want to tackle them. I want to understand why they give me pause, and I want to conquer them. I want to eliminate them as flaws, for lack of a better word. There's two specific things. I'm not gonna say them on the air. They're nothing big. There's things that people would think that I'm just great at, but nobody's. We all have things,
Yeah.
Yeah, like
So
I'm
you're
sure
gonna.
Michael
So
Jordan is great at hoop, but I'm sure there's something that people think he's great at that he just sucks at, and it's one of the things in his life that the way he's built, he needs to work on them. I have a couple of those, and I've identified them, and in this year, I plan on learning more about myself and how to become better in these areas.
That's dope. I mean, again, this is about. We always bring it back to what being honest with ourselves, self-awareness, right? Having these conversations with ourselves, and so again, it's like GI Joe, bro. Knowing is half the battle, and it's these cliches, as we always say, cliches for a reason. Like,
Yeah.
no, just acknowledging, yo, I got a problem, or just acknowledging, yo, I want to improve on this. This is something that's holding me back. That's a big step because a lot of us, myself, we say the lies we tell ourselves, right? So a lot of us sometimes will be like, "No, I'm good." We'll fake ourselves out all the time, right? So just you even saying, "Okay, I got some things," like you identifying, "Oh, this is a challenge for me. I want to work on this so I can get to a better place." I mean, like it's a win, because the majority of people, we're not, we're not even trying. I mean,
Yeah.
but and as Erica said, like because you're human, like so of course you got probably more than two things. I got, what I mean, like
Yeah. There are definitely more than two, but I've identified two
right,
that I'm tackling this year. I'll get to the others.
yeah, and that's important too to be you say like being realistic, right? Like it can be overwhelming, and that's kind of I'm glad you said that. It can be overwhelming because my things are like major things I'm trying to change. It's be overwhelming to kind of do everything at once or try to do everything at once, and then we
Bruh, like that's it. I learned that over COVID, a little bit before COVID and throughout COVID, that there was a bunch of shit I needed to do, and the way I was approaching them was making it daunting by looking at it like everything at once, by not being able to look at you gotta, it's a marathon, not a race. By not being able to look at it like you got to chip at the rock. Like, because if you look at all of the things that you need to do all at once, it's gonna cause anxiety. It's gonna make you nervous. It's gonna feel helpless, and it's gonna feel daunting. And I didn't really know. I would just be like, "Damn, I gotta do this. I gotta do this." And then I get like juiced and get on and just get on a run and knock out a bunch of stuff, and then get burnt out and be like, "Damn, there's so much left. How am I? What the fuck am I gonna do?" Like. And I learned throughout COVID, we spent a lot of time by ourselves, man. And I lived by myself. I spent there was times I didn't hear a human voice for days. And I would just like kind of whisper something to myself and startle myself. Like, oh shit, I haven't even heard a human in like 3-4 days. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And during that time, I kind of learned that like because I had the time, right? And we was kind of forced to have the time to not feel like we had to do things in a rush. And that's when I started peeping. I was like, oh man, if I just do a little bit of this every day, it'll all get done. And finally when something gets done, it's inspiring. It's like, oh, I didn't let it get all overwhelming by looking at what was left. I just stayed on course and knocked a little bit of it out every day. I literally learned a lot about that lesson over COVID. Like, and I'm,
Oh,
I'm in my 40s at that point, right? My mid 40s, like
yeah,
learning that.
I'm still learning that lesson, but it's glad you reminded me of it.
Well,
But
bro, I'm still learning it too. I just got closer. Like I
yeah,
can't. I did not master it. I did not master it.
yeah. I mean, so that's definitely still a thing. But it makes sense though. It makes sense. My wife helps me with that though. Like, and she also points out. She helps me in pointing out the things that I did actually do. She goes, "You did this, and 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 this. You drove me here. You took this. You did this. Your kids. Da, 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 like."
My girl does the same thing. Had taught me the same thing. She was like, you gotta give yourself your victories, your small wins. You have to recognize your small wins, because I would always look at things like, oh fuck that, yeah, I got a little bit done, but I ain't got so much more to do.
That's me,
And
bro.
she yep, same here, like same. And she'd be
That's
like,
me.
you gotta give yourself grace and celebrate your small wins. Does that mean throw a parade? No. Does that mean like get all the fireworks out and
Right,
like it's
right,
4th
right.
of July? No. But recognize and give yourself grace. Is that me
Right.
with the mic doing that?
I think we're good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So my second one um, is is kind of compiles on each other, compounds on each other rather. Is getting my physical situation together in terms of just my health. Now the situation for me is that this is the least active I've ever been in my life, and this is the wrong time to be that way. It's getting older, so I'm always either dancing, ball, running, was doing these obstacle races a few years ago, like running under electric wires and stuff, like crazy military races and stuff. I was in the best shape I ever, like when I was like 38. This was after a torn Achilles. So I know. So, but again, circumstances, things. I put other things in front of this, and I have to find the time to not find the time. I have to reorganize my schedule because the time is there. I have to change things around so I can fit that in and just make that a priority. And again, because I'm feast or famine, dude, I'm like I should be out doing, running like 5 6 miles, this that and like I was when I was in my late 30s. And so I had a physical November 18th, and my doctor was like, I told him, he's like, oh, you're good to go and everything. He but but I explained, he knows how I am, and I was like, he's like, he goes, you're 49. He said he said two things. He said, A, he said, double the time. So whatever results you want to get that you thought that you got in like in your 20s, he said double the time that for your age. He said, just letting you know. He said also double the recovery time. He said you're not going to be able to work out like starting out like 5 6 days a week or nothing like that. Like he's like if you get 3 days in, that's good. Like, he said start, same type of thing, man. Like start small, work your way up, whatever. Da, 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 da. So that's just important to me. So I know what to do. I've done it before. I mean, I know my whole yoga routine, and I've been doing yoga since '97. I mean, I know what to do. So now it's on nobody else. Like I'm looking around for
Yeah.
somebody to blame. Can I blame you? No. Like it's on me. So that's and they go hand in hand. I love to dance, and I had room when I had space to practice and dance. I would just rock out, throw some and just practice moves and stuff like that. But I don't have any space in my spot right now. But I gotta, make it happen. So all of these things, I mean, the physical, I gotta get it there because the last thing I need now is having like had pretty good health my entire life. and then start fucking it up now. So,
Yeah.
um, so that's my thing.
I'm with you on the aspects of the physical thing. Like I'm in pretty good shape because touring a lot is like it's crazy. It's like you're doing like an hour and a half of cardio every night for months at a time. So I get a lot of and just being mobile, like moving from city to city, lifting your bag up like 50-pound bags every day, and blah 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 blah. So and I'm you know and I'm mobile too, so I get my steps in. However, what you said about the um the yoga, like, so I was on my yoga for a minute, 2022, and then I got super busy, and going into 2023 I got super busy touring and all of that. And I remember going on the road because I was doing a lot of yoga before that, and I had never done so much, right? Me and my lady, and we were doing it like religiously, and I was like feeling, I was like, yo, this is what my mom used to do yoga when she was younger, and she was like mad flexible, and she always was like, this is great for you should do yoga, blah blah blah. I never really did too much up until 2020, 2021, 2022. So I go into 2023, I'm on the road, and I was like, yo, I should have been doing this my whole life. I've never been this limber on stage. I'm like, I feel I'm have more mobility than I've ever felt, even as a young kid running around on stage, and I just never got back to it. So it's slowly, I'm not in the worst shape, but I've slowly lost some of that mobility. I'm still moving good, and people can't tell, but I can tell that I'm not as limber as I was. My steps are different. My crouches are different. Like, my bending my knees is different. Like, how yoga gives you those muscles you don't know you have that from moving, like, and so one of my things for coming into this year, 26, and I've spoken to my lady about it as well, is that we're going to get back on our yoga because I missed that. And what you just said reminded me of that. It made like I've been pretty good on my health for 2025, and it's not something you let up on, right? You get healthy and you stay healthy and keep trying to get better. I got my supplement game up with
Uh,
dandelion root, black seed oil, graviola, oil of oregano, bee pollen, royal jelly. I mean, I've been on that, and I'm going to continue to do that. So I haven't been a complete slouch. But the yoga, and another thing I heard, and I know you notice probably more than most people, is that like it's the thing that like getting older will keep you alive longer. Being good, being flexible, and being good at yoga, because I know you already you're well versed in that. So that's one of my things, and you reminded me of it. Like, of course, the physical thing always, but me specifically getting on my yoga, because I've never moved so gracefully
yeah,
as when I was doing, as when, like, just in all degrees of movement, forward, backward, and like every degree, 180, 360. And just the ability to maneuver physically in the world like that, it felt so great. On stage, I just felt like a machine. And now I'm watching where I gotta watch where I step. I don't want to bust something, like I'm freaking going on 52. Like all of I've seen you've seen some rappers the last couple of years like pop that Achilles or that meniscus right on camera, and I'm trying to avoid all of that shit.
yeah,
Knock
yeah.
on wood,
And be
so
on to be a meme in 10 minutes after you do that shit.
yeah, for real. Like everybody like, okay, OG,
Yeah, yeah, you know that how that is.
big
Um,
sis talking about she just got back her yoga stuff. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Um, I unfortunately I got a hard stop soon, so but I want you to share your third one. I want to talk briefly about the what we got going on next month.
So I guess my third one would be I it kind of links to the rest of them. I think I've been on a good trajectory the last few years with like just eliminating toxicity out of my life and just being a happier person because of the putting myself in happier situations. But I still have work to do. I still have work to do, and I plan on like it's kind of linked into what I was saying earlier. It's like you can't be completely unbothered, but there's some things that I want to be unbothered about, and I'm working on that, and or at least be free from, to where like there's little to no exposure. What I would like to do is to be able to be in any situation and be unbothered, but sometimes it just takes removing yourself from situations as well. So I'm working on it. Who knows exactly what it's going to be, but like I'm in a place in my life to where I'm like, and knock on wood, man, because bad things happen, and I'm ready for adversity, and I'm not walking around here with my head in the clouds, but I'm generally in a low stress life, you
Yeah,
know. And like whenever I find myself in some fuck shit, I'm like, why am I here?
yeah, that's
How did
good.
I even get here? Because this ain't even normal no more. This ain't even regular. Who wants to live like that? And so, still got work to do.
Of course, I mean, but again, just knowing this, acknowledging it, and knowing, okay, here's where I can improve. Here's where For me, did have a third one real quick. For me, I really need to work on. We talked about this information intake, really through my phone. So because of carrying the culture, Fifth Element, business, this, that, and the third, I'm on that. My daughter's always like, "Dad, look at your screen time." I'm like, "Nah, nah, 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 nah. I don't even want to see that." Like that, and it's not even. Yeah, I mean, I'm bad. I'm bad, 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 this full disclaimer. I no, I can't even share this. I have to tell you something I did while I was on my phone driving. That almost had legal ramifications, to be honest with you. So, um, I just don't want to share it because it might come back if I say it. But
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So
Gotcha.
I almost messed up somebody's life, bro. So the phone, it's like my sixth finger, bro. Like it's like an extension of my. You know what I mean? I can't. I have to do better with that, and so again. But if my spiritual life is in place, then if I'm getting up early at 6 in the morning or 5 or whatever time I want to get up earlier, instead of grabbing the phone the first thing, I'm doing my yoga, I'm doing my spiritual reading and things like that. So again, everything for me comes back to the spiritual practice. But that's another thing, really. The phone. I want to be less. I don't watch a lot of TV unless I watch sports, but I don't watch TV shows. I got a couple shows on Netflix. I'm not a TV dude really like that. Um, I don't really mess with the news at all. But and also the type of things that I'm getting in the in my phone. Like I got a fucked up sense of humor, and that's okay. But like it gets downright trifling on the internet sometimes. I'm like, damn, I ain't even that trifle. Like, I mean, it's
Mhm.
just, it's rugged out there. I mean, there's murders on there. Not that I look for that stuff, but just so that's mine. Phone.
Man, I'm glad you said that because that's on my list as well. Again, like me and my partner, my girl, we talk about it all the time. About and I talked to some of my close friends about it. I actually have a song on my new album called "Dopamine High," and it's like saying it like a high school, like dopamine high, but
Uh,
the word is like like the phrase is dopamine high, and and literally, bro, like these phones are our body and mind react to them like drugs, like addiction. Like the dopamine aspect of it, like it's literally our body doesn't react to it any different than drugs.
God.
And like, and I'm saying this ain't just clever wording. This is scientific,
No, I know, and that's
endocrine system, psychological reaction. It's drugs, and the people who know how to propagate propaganda and the whole idea of marketing through this new tool. They totally understand this and
uh,
are taking advantage of it. I myself, like, dude, sometimes I was just saying to my girl the other day, I was like, sometimes I have a free moment and just grab my phone and open a specific app just to see, and
yo,
and like it's like autonomic, it's like automatic, bro. I don't even think about it. It's
uh,
kind of like the same reason why I like to just have a drink. Well, when I drank, I would like to have a drink in my hand at the club, because in an uncomfortable just moment, I feel it with sipping the drink. I might not even be having the drink just to drink the whole thing. It's just in that uncomfortable moment of I'm sitting here not doing nothing. I'm gonna take a little sip so I'm not a weirdo, like it's like that, dude. I might be just sitting and not doing nothing and just be like, hey.
So imagine
drugs,
how
bro.
you think I feel.
Drugs.
Imagine how. So if it's that bad for you, picture me, my pages, and imagine how. Yeah. Damn,
I get it, bro. I say all the time, if I wasn't in the vocation and profession that I'm in, I would consciously barely be on this social media. It would be specifically for contact with people I want to talk to and very specific sources of information. That I'm like, what plants are good, what tinctures are good for what health things, and blah blah blah. It would be very tailored, but because I have to be on it a lot, I'm exposed, and I just get again. I said this to my girl today. I was like, bro, I could just be looking for something specific, and 15 minutes later, I'd be down a whole ass rabbit hole on some dumb shit that I just wasn't even thinking about, and start developing feelings about what I'm seeing in comments and stuff. Bro, it's drugs. It's drugs, bro. It is. And people don't. The craziest thing is, it's not wildly being treated like the society isn't treating it like the drugs that it is. And so it's the addiction is just getting worse, more severe, more what's the word I'm looking for? Like sordid, like dark, bro. You said like it's murders. It's like, well, I saw some, and what you said about like dark, like sense of humor. I have a sense of humor as well. And some of the memes that me and my girl send back to each other, we don't share with the public. Like some of the stuff me and my sister and my mom, and it's in our chat, it's not for everybody, bro. Like, hats off to my mom. She's probably the least bad out of me and my sister and her. But I saw something today that had me cracking up. And it was literally the misery of someone else. And I felt bad about it. They had they had the song Shoulder Lean playing. Like, remember Shoulder Lean? Young Dro and T.I.? Love that song. But anyway, that your shoulder lean, you know the song. They had somebody on one of them drugs that make you just freeze in place. And you just stand there like you doing yoga, but you defying gravity. And this motherfucker was bent all the way back over in a position that is look like scientifically impossible, frozen, complete dope fiend on whatever they on, and they was playing Shoulder Lean in the background while they were showing this dude just stuck in a yoga pose that I'm not limber enough to get in. And I actually laughed at it, right? I was like, damn. And then I was like, bro, you're horrible. What's wrong with you? That dude is in hell right now, living in hell, high as hell, froze. And I'm laughing at this shit because they playing Shoulder Lean. Like that's horrible, bro.
That's so much.
That's anyway. Thank you for humoring me on that.
I follow. Maybe I should unfollow. I follow.
Not the Fiend Geographic joint, like the National Geographic for dope fiends.
It's a Down syndrome page.
Of
people. But they rap.
Say less, bro.
All right, we're done. Okay.
No, go ahead.
No, I just had to get that out so I can maybe have the courage to unfollow. All right, so listen, let's take it back.
you making me dig into myself and like notice how horrible I am right now, bro.
Yo, I'll send you something in the DM.
I'm in.
She's seen it. Your sister's seen it. All right. We have a really dope. we all right. So February 2nd, we're kicking off something we're really excited about. We're kicking off a men's group. It's called Real Talk Sessions. And basically, I'm about to hide this chat from Eric. It's real talk sessions, and what it's going to be a men's group, unfortunately, only men's group Not unfortunately, unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, with ladies got to start your own. But this is a men's group, um, talking about men's shit, and in a way, place that men can be comfortable to talk about these things, alpha male dudes, hard rocks, and just be like, yo, I'm bugging, yo, I'm stressed out, B, whatever, however you want to say it, whatever. Um, and it's gonna be a we chopping it up. It's going to be structured, and we're excited about it. I mean, we've gotten some good feedback about us having it, starting it. It's going to be about 10 to 12 people. Be through Google Meet, and that's how we're going to do it. We're going to have different topics, and then like an open sharing as we do it. And yeah, we're pretty excited. I don't know if you want to add anything, but we're
Yeah,
pumped.
yeah, I'm super excited. It's gonna be just for the people, it's a private men's group. It's not gonna be streamed or nothing like that to where people are watching the men group.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a private Google Meet type thing with 10 to 12 men, and basically, like you said, a place to be real, a place to like talk about what it's like to be us here at this time. And it's inspired by Tamal and I doing this for
yeah,
these years that we've been doing it. It's evolved to a place to where we're gonna have this men group. We're really excited about it. We're still working out the kinks, but we have picked the day for it to transpire, and that will be February 2nd, as my brother has said. And
yeah,
really, I'm really looking forward to it. Somebody today, in one of the pieces of content that we put up to promote this show earlier today, somebody was like, "Man, you guys don't know how much you inspire, how much you inspire, y'all don't even know." And me and you talk about this all the time. Like, that is why we do this, not specifically to hear that back, but to hear when we do hear it back, it just it gives the feeling of that's why we didn't line it up and be like, let's do this so we can hear people say this to us and feel a way about it. We can feel great about ourselves.
yeah,
But after the fact, of being able to have that impact on anybody doing this, that those whenever we hear those things, and we've been hearing them over the years, that's kind of the fuel that keeps us doing this and makes us feel like maybe we're doing something that's good, and doing something that people are getting something positive out of. Kind of how we get it the same from having these conversations and sharing these thoughts. So that led to having this group, this men's group, and I'm all the way in. I can't wait to do it. I'm excited. I'm inspired, and I'm looking forward, brother. Thank
yeah.
you
It's
for
gonna
having
be
me as a part of this.
Oh, of course, man. It's gonna be good. I mean, it's gonna be good, and private's gonna be confidential, and we hope people feel comfortable to share in a safe space, if you will, and open up and just you know who knows what I think only good can come from it. Brotherhoods and friendships can form and things like that. So we're excited. Like your sister said, it's maybe we need this space to talk about these things. Sometimes we don't even know we need this space, but like, oh yeah, I need this space. So um, yeah, we're excited. February 2nd. Don't have a time yet, but it'll be about an hour and a half. And it's going to be good stuff. Real talk sessions is what we're going to call it. And yeah, it's a private men's group. So each week we'll just kind of put out a announcement. Everybody signs up until we get 12 people, 10 to 12 people, and then that'll be the group for that month. We'll do it. We're going to do it once a month. Um, Manageable, doable. We've been able to do this show for 3 years now, so like once a month, and yeah, I'm excited, man. Really going to be good. So February 2nd, we got a few calls to handle and discuss before we knock it out. But yeah, man, it's going to be good shit. So
Looking forward, my brother. Let's go, man. And
absolutely,
peace and blessings to you and yours and the family. As always, this is a pleasure. Thank you, my
no,
friend.
this is great. Episode 25, talking crazy. My name is Tamal. We got a man A plus. You know him already. So we're gonna get this up on the YouTube channel. All 24 episodes are on the Carrying the Culture YouTube channel. We'll get this up on the YouTube channel. Get a clip for y'all. So and then make sure you're looking out for Real Talk Sessions. If you're a If you're a man, if you're a woman, you have real talk sessions for women. So, but this is so we're excited about that. Thank you. Salute everybody for coming through. Erica, thanks for coming through. You better come through because I was going to talk my shit. And peace, everybody. Appreciate you, my brother. We'll talk soon.
Peace. About to go watch Pittsburgh. Peace, y'all.
Wait, hold on. You a Steelers fan?
I'm not a Steelers fan, but Domino is, and I'm a Broncos fan, man. So I'm watching it all, bro. We number one out here, man. We gonna see what's up.
Yeah. I be trolling Domino every once in a while.
He had a Steeler gear on today at High Roll.
God, my Eagles lost last night, so I can't say shit. So,
oh man, that was hard.
Yeah, it was bad. So, but anyway, I'm glad I don't hang my hat on sports. Like, all right.
Yeah. We'll live.
We'll live. They're not putting my kids through college next year. So, but yo, yeah, we out. I'll talk to y'all. Episode 25, Talking Crazy. You and I will connect soon so we can build on the next joint. So,
yes, sir, brother. Peace.
All right, peace, family.